going on, guys? Just wanted to do a quick video on gear selection, whether it's concealed carry, performance shooting, like setting up a rig for performance shooting. I'm not going to get too much into like a really duty type of setup or like, anything close to like, I know a lot of guys rock like battle belts with like all their gear set up on there and whatnot, but really for me, just performance shooting setup, pretty simplistic, or concealed carry setup. And sorry, I got a little cold right now. My nose is a little stuffed up. But yeah, so basically when I carry, I'd say like 95% of the time, I'm carrying appendix inside the waistband. I usually just wear like shorts or a t-shirt, or shorts and a t-shirt, not one or the other. Shorts, t-shirt, maybe pants, t-shirt. If I'm wearing like a t-shirt and a button down, or any sort of like cover garment, it really just depends on the weather. I will carry like just behind the hip, so that if say the wind blows the cover garment or whatnot, if someone's standing in front of you, the gun is just directly behind my hip, so you really can't see it. Maybe the rearmost portion of the gun and the rear sight of the gun might show, but you're not going to pick. The average naked eye is not going to pick anything up. So first and foremost, I'm going to talk about belts. The only belts I really run nowadays for the past like 2 years or so are these Aries Gear Ranger belts. I used to use just instructor belts. I still use that belt every now and then. That's just like a Galco carry belt, gun belt, I guess. The reason being is like if I'm wearing, like if I'm dressed up or something, like khakis and like a blazer button down, the dark one might stand out, but even if not, just so that anyone who may know about what a gun belt looks like, if you're wearing this one, they won't really know anything. So I still use it from time to time, but these are just far superior. And I used to use like a Blackhawk instructor belt. I still have it. I just don't really use that one anymore. So like I said, appendix carry inside the waistband. This is the holster I use the most. It's a you could hear the retention on there. Nice snicking. It pops on and off. It's got really good retention. It's extremely minimalistic. I find that for appendix carry, if you don't have a belly, you don't need a sweat guard. If you have a belly, it might pinch you. You might need a sweat guard. But I hear a lot of talk about finding the holster, that a sweat guard will aid you in doing that. I don't find it necessary at all. So yeah, for performance shooting, I just use this Blade Tech dropped and offset holster. I'm a big fan of it. It's sort of got this whole canted setup, so that would be my belt line, right? And I actually have it canted muzzle forward. A lot of people aren't a fan of that. I am, because it's just a natural wrist angle for me with the Tech Lock on there. With all my holsters, they're all really clip on and off. I don't like anything you have to run through your belt loops. Like even these are the G-code, like the clips on the Incog that I show in the other video. They're tuckable, just all around great. They really, grab onto the belt, and they're just great. Even with this dual mag carrier, this is a concealed carry. If I'm carrying more than one mag, I'll use this concealed carry rig. It's all my kydex stuff is made by RDR Holsters. I'm a good friend of the guy who pumps everything out, and he's a real shooter. He takes courses with like Haley, and he takes courses with all these great shooters and or great instructors, and he knows the deal. And when he puts something out, he tests it, and it's it's gonna work for you. So he's not just putting something out because it's just a game of inches with holsters and gear setup. If it's just a little bit wrong, it's gonna throw your whole game off. And for you shooters out there, you know what I'm talking about. This is commonly what I carry. Actually, I'd say it's 50-50 for spare mags. I usually carry 2 spare mags, but this one is just an individual spare mag holder with the tuckable Incog or G-code clip, and it's just just great. And RDR will pump that out for you if you need one. Like I said earlier, if I'm wearing a cover garment, I will use this holster here inside the waistband. It's just a Galco Triton holster, and it serves it serves me well. It's a great holster. The retention's good. It's pretty bomber. It's been through the ringer, and it works great. For behind the hip carry, or anywhere other than appendix carry, I do recommend a sweat guard because when you reholster, you can catch some skin in there and whatnot. The sweat guard prevents that. Just a big fan of this holster, though. I really am. I gotta say. Probably if I was rolling out and needed to conceal with a cover garment, this would be my first pick for personal use and extreme concealment, appendix carry. But for just a cover garment inside the waistband, definitely this guy. And then my next pick would be this ALS that I haven't talked about yet. Huge fan of this holster. I used to use it for performance shooting, and I love the paddle. A lot of people are scared of paddle holsters. This thing isn't going anywhere. That little tooth right there really gets on there, and it's just not going anywhere. This is an ALS. For those of you who care about the finish of your gun, it's lined with like a suede material, and every time you hit the gun for drawing the gun, you hit this. If you're not hitting this, you're not with your thumb. You're just not drawing the gun correctly. So, huge fan of this holster. But just really trying to push my speed and times, and decided to rock out with this Blade Tech dropped offset holster. And it was actually a holster I threw away. I had one before without the dropped offset attachment, just a regular with the I forget what kind of mounting hardware it was, but it wasn't dropped in offset, and I tossed it because I didn't think I'd ever use it again. Oh yeah, in another video I talked about during pistol configuration, how I mark the inside of my mag well. That's what I'm talking about. It's just a visual point to see when I'm doing reloads. This is an old mag well I rigged up with paracord and some crappy hardware. It's just a backup, another backup micro carry rig, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, single mag carriers for performance shooting. I go with these Blackhawk mag carriers. They have really good retention. They're set up with a leaf spring in the inside, which makes for great tactical reloads because it's very easy to hit this huge mag well because it's big, but it has that leaf spring in there. Big fan of these, and you just can't go wrong. I have about 4 of these guys. They're great. What else? That's pretty much it. But I've tried pretty much every kind of holster. I have a whole box of other gear. This is just the main stuff that I use right now. But this holster is my go-to holster right here. You heard that snick too. This appendix carry. I mean, you could use it in another position if you wanted to. It's called the Micro Carry Rig by RDR, and it's just bomber. It's super minimalistic, and it's got great retention, and that G-code clip is pretty much all around all you need, and it's super comfortable. One last thing I wanted to touch on. I talked about belts. Belts are extremely important with concealed carry. One last thing I wanted to touch on is with appendix carry. For me, the reason why I'm comfortable carrying a Glock 17 appendix carry is because the way my body is set up, my upper abdomen and chest both protrude more than my lower abdomen, which means my chest is out and the gun is on my waist, inside my waistband. So when you're standing to the left or right of me, you're not seeing a chest, and then as you start to look down, you don't see something protruding more than that. That's what looks funny appendix carry, and that's why I'm able to. So that's if you have a gut, it's probably not for you because it's going to protrude more than your upper body, and that's going to look unnatural. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Yeah, thanks for watching. Later.